What's up, everybody? This is my new project. I've already built one of these before, but when I bought my new house, I sold this car so that I could use it for a down payment. So I'm going to build another one. I know it's a little dated compared to what everybody's building nowadays, but I'm going to have fun with this thing. Plan on doing exactly what I did the last time. I do have to get a little bit of body work done to it. Not much, but I got this car for $800. It already has the black interior in it, so I don't have to piece out all the interior like I did the last time. But yeah, I paid $800 for this car. I'm going to change out this trim right here to either a slate gray or a black carbon fiber. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet. And I want to get the black headliner and the black pillars, because my other car had all black. Everything was black, even the headliner. It's extremely close to what my other car had. It's missing the heated rear seats. I think it has the HID headlights already. But yeah, I only paid $800 for it. It's already the V6 engine in it. So, and it runs and moves on its own, but it smokes like a freight train, and I mean, it barely runs, but I'm not using that engine. So, the other part of this equation is over here. I bought this car from a Copart auction, and I was the only bidder, probably because of what it is, but I only bid $400 on it, and I won it. And the only reason I wanted it was for the engine. So I have another 2.7 liter twin turbo, and all the wiring and everything to go with it. I'm gonna scrap the rest of the car once I get a couple other small pieces off of it. I'll probably resell the transmission, but the rest of the car I'm just gonna haul off to the junkyard. I was gonna part it out, but it's not worth it. I got too much stuff to do. If I had more time, I'd probably part it out, but I'm not worried about it. So that's my plan. I'm gonna build another twin turbo V6 A4, just like my last one, but I've got full exhaust, computer, wiring harness, all the stuff to get the AC working this time, because my last time I hadn't quite gotten the air conditioning fixed. But I didn't document anything that I did the last time I built this car, so I plan on documenting everything that I do to this one. This one actually does have one option that my black car didn't, and that is it's already equipped with a satellite radio. I had to add that to mine. It does have the tinted mirrors, and it has the auto dimming rear view mirror. So yeah, it's got all the same options as my old one, but the headliner's the wrong color, and the A, B, and C pillars are the wrong colors because mine were black. Other than that, it's dang near identical. So yeah, just figured I'd show that to you, and I'll update you as I make progress with the project. But hope you enjoy. Okay, pretty important note on these swaps. I know this has been covered a million times, but this is for my own record. I've read a bunch of places about swapping from an automatic to a manual. I've already done this a couple times, but there's a spacer on here on an automatic, and it just pops off. But you have to take that off to swap it to a manual. And if you're swapping from a manual to an automatic, you have to have that spacer. You also need to put the carrier bearing in here when you do the manual, which I'll get the carrier bearing out of the 3.0 liter that's in the car. So And the reason that I bought a 3.0 is because the last time that I did it, I bought it 03. That one that I got now is an 05, but the 03 still had a return fuel line, and that 05 doesn't. I didn't realize it, but everything else was there, so it's a very small compromise. I'll add a fuel return line so that I can run the engine, but just figured I'd update that right there because I'm trying to put it on a engine stand so that I can pull it apart and re-gasket it and clean the turbos up, clean the heads up, just kind of give it a once over, replace the timing system, all that kind of stuff. So all right, so it's been pretty cold here, haven't been able to work on it, but I'm going to put the front end back on the A6. I pulled the engine and transmission. I got it up on the engine stand, and gonna tear it apart and re-gasket it and everything, but I got the transmission sitting here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the front end back on this car so it looks like a complete car, and then I also got to figure out a way to put some kind of wheel system on here so that I can tow it off to the junkyard once I get everything off of it that I want. I'm probably just gonna put a caster on there with some U-bolts or something. I don't know, I'll figure something out, but I gotta figure out some kind of wheel system. But once I do that, I'll get this joker out of here after I finish getting a couple little parts that I need. But all right, so that's as much as the front end it's getting put back together as I'm doing. I'm keeping the headlights because they're HIDs, and the HIDs on the other car share the same ballast and everything. But still got to figure out a wheel for that side. But got the whole front back together except for the headlights. This is damaged from a wreck, so I'm gonna tie around here. I'll be honest, I'm probably just gonna put zip ties on here just so it stays on while it goes to the junkyard. But I am getting ready to pull the fuel pump. Like I said, my car doesn't have the return fuel line, and rather than trying to monkey and make something up, I'm just gonna use the one that came out of the A6. It'll go right into the A4. I might have to modify the fuel lines a little bit, but saves me from having to do all the extra adding and all that kind of stuff. I can just swap the dang fuel pump. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully it's a good one. If not, I'll freaking buy a new one and put it in there. But I'd rather see if this one was good before I go spending however many $100 it is for a new pump. I haven't priced one, but I know they're not cheap. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna try and get this pump out of here. I got one more fuel line to take off of here. Put the seat back in here, and then hopefully, oh no, and I still got to take the wiring harness out for the fan control module. Still got to pull that side of the dash apart and pull the harness out. But other than that, I'm almost done with the car. I am going to pull the exhaust. It's still on here from behind the catalytic converter pack, but it's just hanging on the ground. I'm going to pull it off just because I cut the hangers when I was removing the engine, and it's too much of a hassle to try and wire it up. I'll just freaking pull it. So maybe I can modify it to work on the A4, or I can make the A4's exhaust work. Last time I just used it, actually used an S4 exhaust the last time I did it. So we'll see. But this is already considerably cheaper than the last time that I built it. We'll see how it ends up in the final tally, but I mean, the last time I built one of these, it cost me right at about $3,500 buying the car and building it. This one so far, I've got $1,200 in it. So we'll see how it goes. Last time I had to replace every stitch of interior in the A4, and this one I don't have to because it's already got all the black interior. The only thing I need to replace is the headliner. And I want to switch it out to black anyway, so no harm, no foul. But yeah, that's it. So just to sum up what I've done in this current video, I'm to the point now where I've got the engine out. I've got it on an engine stand. It's mostly torn apart. I'm waiting for the gaskets and the head bolts and the timing set and everything to be delivered. I ordered it yesterday, so should be here any day. Once I get that stuff, I'll do a video of the teardown of the motor, the cleaning and replacing the gaskets and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's stuff that people have seen hundreds of thousands of times, but like I said, I'm trying to document everything that I did to this car, because I didn't do it last time when I built this car. I did come up with a pretty cool wheel system. Pretty cool. It's a freaking $16 wheel, but it seems to be working all right so that I can get this car to the junkyard. I'm gonna show y'all what I did to it. So I just mounted a caster onto the where the sway bar mounted, and it seems to be holding it pretty good. I've got the jack stand under there just in case anything happens while it's sitting here waiting to get hauled off to the junkyard. I'm not going to haul it off until I get the car running. I was going to haul it off just to get it out of the driveway, but I'm going to hold on to it until I get the car done, because I may want to try and do some different little projects that I had thought about doing on my last one. Never got around to it. So I may try and do it this time, because I'm not on a time crunch like I was the last time. Last time I had to have a car. This time now I have a basically a brand new Jeep that I'm driving, so I'm not really worried about having to absolutely have to have the car immediately. But like I say, once I get the car running, I'll freaking haul this one off to the junkyard. But I still want to I might want to try and play with some of the electronics and add some shit that I don't have in my car. But I'll show you that I got the whole exhaust out. Got one of the fuel lines laying over here. I still got to get the other one, unhook it from the filter. But there's one of the fuel lines. And then there's the full exhaust from the A6. Everything's still installed on the A4. I haven't even begun to take the engine out. I'm not even going to attempt to work on the A4 as far as tearing anything apart until I get the A6 engine completely rebuilt. And I've got the motor. It's not all the way torn apart, but it's torn apart a pretty good bit. I'm going to finish tearing it apart today. But I'll show you what I've got so far. So, and I don't have a shop right now, so don't really laugh. I'm doing this shit on my front porch. But so I've got the engine tore down. So here's all my parts from, I haven't cleaned anything yet. It's just stacked over here so that I can organize it. And once I get everything torn apart, then I'll start cleaning stuff and doing all that. But I still got to take this turbo manifold off. I'm going to replace the oil cooler, just because this car was actually in the car that this came out of. I think it hit a curb, because it actually cracked the oil pan. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a crack in the oil pan. So I have to replace the oil pan anyway. And it looks like they might have hit the oil cooler a little bit. So I'm going to replace the oil cooler as well. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Freaking video just turned off. But like I was saying, I'm going to replace the oil cooler. Looks like it got hit when the car went up on the curb. And then also that crack in the oil pan. It doesn't look very good. But the oil pan's cheap. I found one on either eBay or Amazon for like 60 bucks for the lower oil pan. But I've got all new timing components coming, new water pump, thermostat, hydraulic tensioner. I misplaced my freaking tool for the to set the cam timing, so I'm gonna have to, I don't know where it is. I might have lost it when I moved into the new house. So I'm probably going to have to order a new one of those so that I can set the timing correctly on here. It's just a straight bar, but it's got 2 pins on it for each cam so that you can set the cams where they're supposed to be. I mean, I can do it with a straight edge, but it's way easier with the tool. But yeah, that's it. Just wanted to give you basically a summary of what all got done so far in this video. And then here's my stack of miscellaneous parts from when I tore the car apart. So, and it's all covered in pollen because it's the pine tree pollen out here is horrible down in the Atlanta area of Georgia. But yeah, I'll post another update on this car probably next week. I'm not going to be able to do videos every day because I work a full-time job. This is basically a spare time hobby project that I'm going to do. But like I say, I've done this more than once. I've already swapped a front-wheel drive A4 to an all-wheel drive 5-speed, and then swapped it to an all-wheel drive 6-speed, and then swapped it to a freaking 2.7 twin turbo, and then I swapped a 3.0 to a 2.7 twin turbo, and then I swapped a 4.2 S4 to a 2.7 twin turbo. So I've got pretty good practice doing the 2.7s. And it's just because I like the car. I think once I get done building this car, I believe my next project is going to be a first generation Dodge Neon with some ridiculous engine. I haven't decided yet. It's not going to be a 2.4. It's not going to be a freaking 2.0 that came in it. I'm going to go pretty freaking crazy with it. I just haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. But it will be a Chrysler engine or a Mopar engine in it. Because when I build cars for myself, especially for other people, it doesn't matter. But for myself, when I build cars, I like to build them all out of the same manufacturer's parts. So if I'm building, I build a Chevy S10, a 94 S10 with a 350 Vortex Z71 motor in it. And every single nut and bolt on that truck was something that you could purchase from the Chevrolet dealership. Same thing with this Audi. That's why I'm building everything off of an A6 and an A4, combining the two together. That way, if any part is needed, you either need to know it's for a 2001 A6 or for a 2005 A4. And I just do it for ease of replacement of parts if there's ever any problems after the car is completed. I generally won't cut cars apart to build them, with the exception of my truck. I mean, my truck, I heavily modified that truck. But as far as just a general, everyday, daily driver build, usually it's stock components being put onto it. It's just stock components from a bigger car getting put onto a smaller car, just to see what I can do, see what the different manufacturers couldn't do or wouldn't do when they were building these cars originally, or what they were restricted from doing because of power to weight ratio and fuel economy and all that kind of freaking bullshit government regulations, whatever. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoy what I'm doing. Like I said, this project's probably been covered a million freaking times, but this is me doing it basically for my own records, because I didn't record it last time. But I'm going to start documenting every car build that I do from here on out. I've built so many cars, and I have no record of any of the crap that I've built. And I've built a lot of stuff, a lot of really cool stuff too, and I have no way of any kind of memories of it except for what's up in my freaking head, which I've lost probably half of the crap that I remember, because I've had to replace it with shit for work and different side projects and things like that. I mean, if you don't use it, you lose it. I don't dwell on a lot of stuff that I built, but I have been recently, because I've been looking at all the videos that have been getting posted from different people of what they've been building. And I mean, I feel like I've built some really cool stuff that probably would have been viewed by quite a few people, but I didn't take any kind of records or anything like that of it. So I'm going to start doing it now and see where it goes. But yeah, we'll hopefully you'll come along with me for the journey, and we'll be able to see some really cool crap get built, and have some I'll probably have some very weird
crap happen while I'm building this stuff, some out of the ordinary stuff, because it always happens. You can't predict everything. Nothing ever goes 100% smooth. I mean, even if you pre-plan, it still won't go 100% smooth. You're always going to have at least one hiccup. At least I do. Maybe that's just my luck, but I'm going to try and plan this out as thorough as I can, as clean as possible. I want this thing to look like it drove off the showroom floor with that 2.7 in it. That's the way that my other one looked, and I'm going for the exact same look, so that I can showcase what I can do. So yeah, hope you'll enjoy the ride, and we'll see where this journey takes us. Have a good one.